Welcome to Deals on Wheels, the show that helps you glide over the ruts of the second-hand car business.
And we're on the trails of the finest deals in the country. All right then, Rich, what we got in the show tonight, mate?
Well, Mike, this week we've got hot buys from the lavishly exciting to the sensibly reliable, and we're going drag racing in road cars that we've picked up for under £1,000.
But first, hold on to your hat because here comes a car that's rarer than hen's teeth.
30 years ago, there was a trend among second-rate supercar manufacturers like the British Jenson company to make cars styled in Italy but powered by big American V8 engines. These hybrids had all the performance advantages of their more sophisticated Italian cousins like Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but they were cheaper to run and they were much more reliable. The 7.2-litre Chrysler engine Jenson Interceptor was probably the most successful of these hybrid cars. But of course, this was at a time when petrol was very cheap. And that's very significant, because at 12 miles to the gallon, that's the only reason why you probably wouldn't want to buy a Jenson Interceptor today. Now, Greg Whall is no fool. He knows how difficult Interceptors are to sell, so he's going to try and swap his for a more sellable car instead.
Hi, I'm Greg, outside my business here in South London. I'm looking to sell my Jenson Interceptor because I need something more practical to take my dog out in. This is my Jenson Interceptor, Series 3, 1972. It's got the 7.2-litre engine. I think what I've most liked about owning this car is, I must admit, from a sort of show-off point of view, everybody does look at it. I bought it 8 years ago in need of restoration. The body and engine and so on has had extensive work on it, and it's now a very nice car. Well, as you can see, the car is in lovely condition. The louvered bonnet is something I actually had done to it. The engine generates an awful lot of heat, and I did actually have a Series 2 Interceptor which unfortunately did catch on fire. So I've had uprated fans fitted to this one. Also, we've had the interior all done in a nice cream leather, Connolly hide, and the contrast piping goes very nicely with the exterior paintwork. The rear window, I think, is a particularly nice feature. It's actually called a goldfish bowl window, and apparently was the first hatchback that had a full-size glass window fitted to it. So there she is. I will be sorry to see her go, but something more practical like a Merc or BMW estate would be nice, as I have to think of the dog these days, or a cash price of $7,450.
Like so many supercars built in the late 60s and early 70s, many won't have been looked after properly. That's why some cars like Greg's have had cooling problems or their air conditioning doesn't work, and some will even have had electrical fires. So get the bonnet up and have a look at the condition of this paintwork under here and look for signs of scorching or burning. And you want to check the condition of all these cooling hoses and make sure that the air conditioning unit is properly plumbed and belted in. The temperature and oil gauges will give a good indication of the condition of the engine. So get the car nice and hot, and at idle, make sure that the water temperature needle doesn't climb higher than 3/4 of the way around the gauge, and see that the oil pressure needle points straight down.
Now, although new panels are still freely available, fitting them is a problem. All Jensons are coach built, so if you find a new panel, you might have to lock 1 or 2 inches off the thing just to get it to fit. So as a consequence, people find it easier to repair a panel rather than replace it. So get yourself a trusty Deals on Wheels magnet and have a feel along the panels for any signs of dreaded filler.
Interceptors are very difficult cars to value. Good ones seem to sell as readily for £6,000 as they do for 8 or 9. Now, Greg's is a nice enough car, but it's a funny colour and it's got that horrible front spoiler on it. I reckon it's worth only £6,800.
You're right, Rich. But even a good Jenson can become a money pit. Me, I want to get it a bit cheaper, and I only think it's worth £6,500. Let's see what happens.
Right, I've had the Jenson advertised for about a month now. I've had no serious buyers approach me. But a friend of mine actually is selling a Porsche at the moment, similar age, another classic car, which appeals to me. What we're going to do, we're going to meet up, check each other's cars out, and possibly do a straight swap. Sell it, get the estate car that I've got to get because of my dog.
Hello, Greg. How are you?
Well, I'm very good, thank you. Right, this is it, yeah?
That's the beast?
Yeah, should we have a test drive?
Okay.
What, my one first? Yeah. Okay. One thing with these, and apparently it's typical of all Jensons, they all seem to do it. When you leave them overnight, the petrol drains back, and when you get in it in the morning, you turn the ignition on, you pump the accelerator 25 times, and it pumps the petrol right up.
Really?
Then when you start, it'll start instantly. Let's give yours a try.
Okay.
Brakes pretty good on? No.
Could be better.
But they do stop you in, you know.
Oh yeah, they will stop you, but they do pull slightly if you brake sharply.
What, left or right?
To the left.
To the left. As a car, I much prefer the Jenson. Because
Really?
I just find them much more refined and so on. But for me, when I do want to sell it, I think this will probably sell a little
Definitely.
easier.
And not only that, I think you'll actually do very well on it.
Yeah.
If you've done...
The plan is to do the trimming and then sell it probably around summertime next year.
Well, I was asking 9.5, but I would have taken 9 at a push. But he's only asking 7.5 for this. But I think this is a lot more car than the Porsche, really. So we talked about doing a trade, and he's going to upholster a chair for me for my flat as well. So to sort of conjure the difference.
So depending on how much work needs to do into the Porsche, I'll either do the whole chair for him or half of it. Oh, it's so
quick,
cold, isn't it? Yeah,
you could say that.
Runs nicely.
Well, roll on the summer.
Well, I think we'll do it, yeah?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Greg is one lucky man because any classic Porsche will be very easy to sell, whereas Jenson Interceptors, no matter how cheap they are not.
Right then, let's get down to business. Now, we all think that motor racing is a rich man's sport, but me and Richard are here to prove otherwise.
We've been given £1,000 each to take a car to the Santa Pod International Raceway.
And to make it a little bit more interesting, me and him are going to go head-to-head in a race against each other.
And I don't fancy your chances much, matey.
Shut up, I'll take you on any day.
Santa Pod in Northampton is the English home of drag racing. Here they hold Run What You Brung days, where for a measly £10 you can enter a standard road vehicle and race alongside the hot rods. To prove how easy it is, Mike and I are getting ourselves a set of roadworthy race wheels for under £1,000 each. Now, let's see who can come up with the faster machine. Drag races are won and lost on the start line, and start lines are very slippery places because of all the old tyre rubber left on them. So I reckon my dragster needs four-wheel drive for maximum traction and a powerful engine. Sounds expensive? Not if it's an XR4i that's failed its MOT. You're right?
Yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Now, buying a car without an MOT can be a tricky business. Whilst making all the normal checks, make sure you're satisfied with the car's history and with the reason it failed its MOT. Was it failed its MOT on the sills before?
No, not sills before, no. That's the first time.
First time.
Yeah.
Right, so running the car backwards and forwards will also allow you to check the brakes, clutch and gears. I'm going to give you £300 for it.
Well, I'll take £300 cash. If it's cash, yeah, £300. Yeah,
Right.
no deal. Yeah,
OK, right, fine, well, in that case, I think you've got yourself a deal. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now, you can also drive a car without an MOT as long as you're on your way to an MOT station and you've pre-booked yourself in. And that's what we're going to do now. Gary, I know no man who can get performance out of a standard car like you can. And this XR4i has got to go faster than any XR4i ever has. Now, the thing is, I've got £1,000 to spend. Yeah. The car's cost me 300. You're saying the MOT is basically almost welding business. That's going to take me up to 650. So I have 350.
350?
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
You want nitrous, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, I reckon drag racing is not only about power, but it's also about saving weight. So, to beat Rich off the starting line, I'm going small and light. Chris?
Yeah, speaking.
Mike, how are you?
Oh, there,
nice
all
to
right,
meet you.
thanks, yourself.
Right, I've got a problem. I've got to beat my co-presenter over a quarter of a mile distance, but I've got a budget I've got to work to.
And what is that?
£1,000.
OK, can be done.
Can it?
Yeah.
Go on then, what can you do for me?
OK, basically, you want to start off with a standard Mini.
Yeah, just a sort of, I don't know, just any old Mini. That's too good.
That's the car.
Really? Is that the one, really?
That is the car.
What, you can sell me this and race it up for £1,000?
Done, definitely.
Right, Richard. You're going to want one of these.
Yes, please. That is ridiculous. Look at this. Mad Max Eat Your Heart Out. Mike Brewer. Wait until he gets a load of this. Nitrous oxide is the laughing gas you used to get at the dentist, but pump it into an engine and you'll get tons more horsepower. It's as simple as that. And the best thing is, it's completely road legal.
But what are you going to do to this one for me then?
We'll put a 1300 engine into that.
So you drop the 1300 unit straight in there?
Yeah, pretty
lovely.
much goes straight in without any problems.
Lovely.
And then we'll stick a nicer exhaust on it, air filter, etc.
Would the exhaust add to the horsepower, or is that just for show?
No, it actually add to it, yeah. We can change the diff ratio while the engine's being swapped over, also to give you a bit more acceleration. And we might do a few more little bits and pieces.
Changing the diff ratio means changing the gearing in the...
That's right,
in the gearbox, basically.
That's right, yeah. And we can do that to actually make it accelerate quicker.
Fantastic. Yeah, I like all the sound. Accelerating quicker is what I want to hear.
Yeah,
all
I'm
right,
gonna do it.
Wicked.
500 nicker for the car and 500 quid for a bigger engine. Money well spent.
A monkey. Thanks, Chris. I'm well happy with that, I've got to tell you. What about that then? £1,000 for a pocket rocket. Brilliant stuff. Richard, see this? That, my boy, is my back. Get used to it. You're going to be seeing a lot of it.
After the break, join us at the starting line. And if you want to know more tips on how to tune up your motor or anything about Jenson Interceptors, then visit our website at www.4car.co.uk.
Hey!
Whoa. What do you think you're doing, eh? Who do you think you are, the Silly Brothers? That car does not go on this stand. Yeah. Well, they're going to be dead chuffed when they see their car on the Skoda stand, aren't they? What a bunch.
No gun, just squeeze and fill. New squeeze and fill from Polycell. It only takes 2 ticks.
Such a waste. So many of you all over the country are doing this year after year. If you pay your home insurance along with your mortgage, you could be chucking your money away until you do this. Switching your home insurance from your mortgage provider to Direct Line could save you up to 30%. So stop wasting your money and call Direct Line on 0113 246 8877.
This week, I have been mostly calling Holston Pills by another name. Adrian.
Big gap. No gap. Polycell Gap Gun. It only takes 2 ticks.
The best thing about First Direct Internet Banking, it's not that it's quick, simple and reliable. No, the best thing about First Direct Internet Banking is that you're in control. You're the driver. Any chance of a lift? Right, what's next?
Are you a stereotype? Do you really believe that certain kinds of people only watch a certain kind of programme? And do you believe that they'll only watch them at a certain time? Well, to be honest with you, that's rubbish. With this little fella, you can watch what you want, when you want. That's what Sky Digital is all about. Oh, let's take a look.
Okay, maybe you hate football.
But you love documentaries. No problem. We've got them all around the clock. Good luck. To please all of the people all of the time without sacrificing quality. That's our digital vision. Maybe that's why more people going digital choose Sky. I think that went quite well, didn't it? Didn't it? For a free mini edition Digibox, call 08702 42 42 42 or visit your electrical retailer.
Visit www.4car.co.uk and read our exclusive feature test of Vauxhall's Baby Aguila. Later, a bargain car that should make a stranger of your mechanic, but first, it's nitrous time at the drag strip with those £1,000 cars.
Run what you brung day at Centre Pod. What a motley lot. Pontiacs and pickups, hot rods and hatchbacks, cars and bikes of every shape and size. But it's not just about racing each other, it's also about beating the clock in your own personal best. Me, I'm really looking forward to thrashing Richard.
Richard, do the honours, mate. It's time to reveal all. What you got?
Michael, this is state of the art.
Oh, my God. I thought it was a Sierra. It's an XR4, isn't it?
It's a blue oval.
What is it?
It's an XR4.
It is an XR4.
You know what
it's
that
a
means,
shed.
Mike, don't you?
This is a shed.
You know what that means? 2.8i in there.
Is it really? You got a 2.8?
Lots of poke. It also means it's got four-wheel drive, essential.
Yes,
Bit
yes,
of
very
traction,
nice.
You know, a bit of that.
So it's 2.8.
Yeah, no problems there.
Okay.
Would you like to come around this side, please?
Yes, I will do.
Yeah, come on.
And what's that?
It's a blue bottle.
That's nitrous oxide, isn't
Yeah,
it,
it
Richard?
is, yeah.
Right, I think I better show you my beast. Right,
It looks
unfortunately,
suspiciously
Richard,
like a Mini, Mike,
it
I have
is
to say.
suspiciously like a Mini. Unfortunately, Richard, what I brought along is a Mini, a
Nice
humble
paint,
Mini.
nice paint.
We stuck in this, which is a 1275 GT. We put a gas flow cylinder on the top. Then if you'd like to look in the boot, Richard. Two can play the nitrous game. The gauntlet's been thrown, the challenge has been made. Let's see who's got the quickest car over a quarter of a mile then. So Richard's done well for his grand, but a car as lean and as light as mine should be quicker off the mark.
I'm having you, boy.
What?
I'm having you.
Well, you just settle down. You're so rude the whole time. So, Mike, I've removed a bit of carpet. I couldn't get the throttle down far enough, mate. So I think I've got a bit more now.
Richard, I reckon when it comes down to this, it's all about technique.
Technique?
Technique.
I'm brimming with technique.
Enough of the hot air, it's nitrous time. As for technique, well, it all happens here at the start line, where brake horsepower, burn rates and traction mean nothing. If your reactions aren't razor sharp, then you ain't going to get off to a flying start.
Right, here we go. We're on the starting grid. We have to wait for these Christmas tree lights to come up and keep you some heat in your tyres. Getting ready, getting ready.
No, blast that second gear. He's unbearable, man. He's completely unbearable.
Brimming with technique, stick to your old classics, mate. Right, second chance to prove my car's true power.
Right, here we go. We come up to the Christmas tree lights. We're getting the ball. So I'm going to get on my brakes, going to dictate this as much as I possibly can. Going to get ready on the old throttle. Got to get really good reaction times.
Not bad, I'm off the line quick. Richard's off the line quick on the second gear. I'm really going right now. Richard's got the legs on me though. This little pocket rocket's running out of power. Come on, my girl, you can do it. Come on, faster!
And Mike is left for dust, as a Mini 1275 should be in the wake of 2.8 litres of sublime Dagenham power.
The formula's very simple. You can race as often as you like until your fuel runs out. It's a great atmosphere and you'll see every kind of contraption on wheels. As for Richard and me, well, his Goliath finally got the better of my little David. But winning's not the point. It's the most fun I've had on four wheels for a very, very long time.
So your stereo, so your telly. Get yourself a pocket rocket. Come drag racing for the weekend. It's fantastic fun. And if you can do it like me and Richard have done it on a shoestring budget, no more than £1,000. What a great thing to do. And it's not as if the car's exploded or worn out or anything. You can bring it along week after week, spend a tenner, hand over your driving licence. You can have a great weekend. Bring the family along. Fantastic. And I've got to say, I enjoyed every blooming minute of it.
Well, Mike, what can I say? There are winners in life and there are losers.
There must have been something wrong with it.
Well, Mike, if you think you're such a speed king, prove it.
Wait till you see what I've got next. I've got the incredible, the fantastic Hyundai Stellar. 20-odd years ago, Hyundai were making Cortina kits for Ford. But then they decided to join the big boys and they started making their own cars. Admittedly, the Stellar wasn't one of their best creations. It's got the aerodynamics of a skip and its motorway manners is like a JCB on slick tyres. But it's robust and it will last you a long time. But the good news is it comes bottom of the list of the most desirable cars that thieves want to steal, so insurance premiums are way down. Jonathan Barnett wants to sell his Stellar because it's just not practical with all the motorway miles he has to do, so he's got to go.
Hi, my name's Jonathan and this is my Hyundai. I bought the car from my grandfather last year and it's not the sportiest of models, but it's what someone in their 80s would buy. Very much a grandfather car, it's not done many miles. Everything works fine, she starts first time every time. My passion in life at the moment is car racing. So I spent the last year with the old Hyundai towing the racing car up and down the country. I work in quite a male environment. I'm a shipbroker and there's a lot of laddish behaviour and a lot of mickey taking, and anytime someone's talking about cars or my car, there's always someone who sort of bellows taxi on the side of the office. The best thing about the car is the number plate. I've been told that's worth a little bit of money. So number plate's going to be the first thing that goes, and then hopefully the car not long after that. I think my grandpa would much rather I kept the Hyundai and got rid of the race car, but that's not happening. I'm asking £500 for the Hyundai, so I hope someone comes along fairly soon and pays me as close to that as possible. Sorry, Grandpa.
Jonathan was right when he said a lot of these cars are being used as taxis or minicabs, so look out for evidence of meters or radios fitted around a dashboard here. Also, don't forget to check the seats for any signs of discoloration, tears or even fag burns, a sure sign that the car's had a hard life.
The Stellar's engine produces only 72 brake horsepower. At idle, it's really quite noisy, and at high speed, it's positively harsh. But you shouldn't confuse that lack of mechanical sophistication with problems. It's just the way they are. Now, the engine and gearbox was made under contract by Mitsubishi Colt, and that means they're strong and reliable, and it means the parts are plentiful. They were also made to be very simple, and that's important because it means they're cheap to run.
You'd have to hold a knife to my throat to make me want to buy one of these. I think it's only worth 150 quid, if that.
150 quid, Mike? Don't be silly. You can earn a living out of one of these, and Jonathan's is a low mileage car. It's worth £450.
Never. Let's have a look.
There's a guy coming round tonight to have a look at the car. He seemed very keen on the phone. Wouldn't wait till tomorrow. Needed to see it today. The good part is that whatever happens, I've made £300, sold number plates. These are the new numbers that are going in the car. Hi, I'm Jonathan.
How do you doing? I'm John.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
There's the car.
When was the last service?
Had an oil change at the MOT. Did it? No, it didn't have an oil. Oh, I can't remember if I had an oil change at the MOT or not. I think I also flattened the battery. It's been 6 weeks like we started. I've got jump leads in another car over there. Do you want me to jump start it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, nightmare. It's probably because it's so cold that it's not. That it's flattened the battery. I thought it would be running okay.
Could be alright because if the car has been on the road for about 6 weeks, the battery might be flattened. So that should be a problem, major problem. There's no funny noises. No smoke coming out so far. Take it for a drive.
Yep, that's no problem. What do you do?
I work as a cab driver.
A cab driver. They make a good cab, I think, because it's got a lot of space in the back. Yeah, it's a big car.
Yeah.
Now remember, Jonathan wants £500 for his Stellar, so let's see how he gets on.
John's gone off to speak to his mate, see what he thinks. I think he's interested. I can't leave it parked in the road without any tax. Can't get any tax out reinsuring it. That's just all money down the drain, so I'm not going to tell him this, but really, I suppose I just want to get rid of it. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I asked my mate. He's quite happy with it.
How much do you want to offer me?
So, being an average car, it's got to be rust on the side, yeah?
Yeah.
I say I will go 400 for it.
I was hoping to get closer to the 500 for it. Have you got 450? If you got 450, because I've just got the new number plates, brand new number plates. It's only done 54,000 miles, you know? So there's nothing wrong with the engine, nothing wrong with the gearbox. You're not going to have any problems with it, you see, that's the thing.
I give 420 for it. That's how much I can.
425?
420.
Sorry?
420.
420? I thought you were going to go split the difference and do 425.
No, I give it 420, that's how much I can.
420?
Honest.
Okay. Deal?
Deal, mate.
420. And 2 free taxi rides.
Yeah,
now, that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
I'll give you a card, don't worry. I'll give you a
Give me a card, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. 400 and £20. Excellent. Enjoy it. I'll give you a push.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent.
What a nightmare! The worst thing that can happen is a breakdown on a test drive. Still, with the sale of that number plate, he made himself a tidy little profit.
That's it for this week. Join us next week when me and Richard take a trip across the channel and get to grips with buying a car in France.
That's right. So see you then.
Now, Richard, I reckon I could have easily have taken you if I would have got bigger nitrous oxide.
What do you mean? I hardly had my gas on. You had yours wound up.
Well, of course, I've only got
silly car.
It's not a silly car. It was lightweight. It was going to be fast. I was going to beat you.
No, you've got to use your loaf for these.
What do you mean use me
It
loaf?
can't start. It's a poxy thing. It's a town car.
It's not. It's a Mini.